Hi, I'm Lola, and this is Binx. Binx and I are going to show you a fun game that we're playing called Freeze the Dog. So Binx is my little show prospect, and when you have a dog in the show ring, typically when I teach stay, I teach it from a sit position. And when you have a dog in the show ring, you don't want them sitting in the show ring. They need to stack and stack properly. So we've been working on a little command here for the last few days called freeze. And so how freeze works, basically it just means don't move your feet. I'm going to shape this to where I can pose her eventually, but right now what I'm looking for is no moving feet. So I'm going to show you how I train this. I've got my treats right here. We're keeping it happy because I want ears up and looking at me. And so what I'm doing is Binx, freeze. Okay. Good girl, good girl. I'm using a release command just like you would with a typical stay command. Binx, freeze. Okay, good girl. Now, we have been working on this for a week or so. So she's doing really good right now. So I'm going for a longer period of time than what you're going to start out with. When you first start this with your dog, especially if you've got a really active dog, like Binx, she's an Abyssinian hound, so she tends to be squirmy. She likes to do the little dance. Binx, freeze. Okay, that's how we start out. Just almost a split second. You don't have to have them stay for very long at first. Build up your time. We're also not trying to back away from her really far. I will add that and I will proof this just like I will a stay, where I'll tell her to freeze, and I may have my husband come up and run his hand down her back because that's something a judge would do in the show ring. I may have him come up and look at her teeth, things like that. Obviously she's squirmy and she doesn't have this down completely yet, but right now this is our start. This is the foundation for what I'm going to try and shape into a good stay command so that I can eventually pose her in a stack position, pull her legs back where I want them, and then I can use my my bait here to get her ears up and get her looking at me, and you know, without her prancing around and getting out of the stack position that I want her in. Come here, Binx. Come on, Binx, freeze. Okay. Good girl. And what I've been doing is if she messes up, which she does every once in a while, now that we kind of have this command where she's kind of got the idea, if she backs a step away from me or if she comes towards me, what I'm doing is marking with a nope, and I turn away from her. So this is new. We're not correcting yet. Right now it's just a nope, you lost your treat. Binx, Binx, freeze. Okay, good girl, good girl. So we're working our way up, slowly but surely adding time. I would like to see her do this for a solid minute because in the show ring, if we're waiting for the judge to go around and look at all the dogs, I figure a solid minute should give enough time for her to get an examination and everything. And if I have to release and then re-give the command in the ring, that's okay as well. But this is a good command if you guys have any dogs that you're training for the show ring, or if you have clients that are training dogs for the show ring. This is just something a little fun you can do with them. It's a little bit different than the stay command, but it's the same concept. We're going to proof it the same way as a stay command. We're using a release command just like we do with a stay command. So it's the same concept, just in a stand position. And what I'm looking for with a stay, I'm a little bit more lenient. If I put a dog in a sit stay and they adjust their position, you know, and they squirm a little bit, I'll usually let that slide. But with her, I want her to freeze. I want all 4 feet in the same position. So none of this, none of the jumping around until she's released. So Binx, freeze, nope. Freeze, nope. Freeze. Okay, good girl. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, you can email me at lolathedogtrainer@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a good day and have a Merry Christmas.